Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Ed Corvo is ready. We finally got him here. This is the John Peckman Podcast, coming to you from Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance. Beautiful.
I'm ready.
Don't interrupt me. He's already doing it. You're doing it already. Dude, I will stop this thing right now. All right. I knew this was a mistake. No. We are the John Peckman Podcast, Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance, beautiful downtown Portland, Connecticut. Come across the bridge, start looking left. We are here with the one, the only, Mr. Ed Corvo.
I usually walk, actually.
We could. We have.
We used to do that quite a bit. And
Yep.
We used to walk, and now that the bridge is under construction,
Yeah.
haven't walked it in a while.
No, I know. We used to do that. Ed lives over the bridge in Middletown. We're over the bridge in Portland. Ed, bass player.
Boom, boom.
I'm going to make it official because the cameras are running. One of my very favorites of all time. I'm just saying that. Yeah, but you know that. You know that that's true. Ed Corvo,
We know each other well.
great bass player, great singer. Play guitar too. Known to do a solo gig, especially if the actual guitar player at the gig breaks a string. Ed's ready instantly to whip into something.
Whip it out.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Eddie is the best.
That means something completely different in New Orleans, by the way.
Right. Exactly. That's fine.
Just saying.
But Eddie is the best. He's here. We finally got him. Your name has come up more than once. No, it had. I mean, Michael Cleary was on. He was talking about you. Who else? Joe Martin probably mentioned you. Everybody's talking about Eddie.
Anybody that sees the poster in the post office.
Yeah, in the post
they just see
office.
it, they'll mention me.
Yep, definitely.
Great.
So we're like, we got to get Eddie. We finally got him.
I'm
Finally
here.
got you
I'm here to talk about nothing for an hour.
That's
It'll be
fine.
Just like watching Seinfeld,
Yeah, that's fine.
except without any of the fun.
Without any of the fun. No, that's not true. All right. So anybody who's from Middletown or its surroundings knows pretty much from a. So take us to the beginning. So your dad was a player around here.
Right. So he was he primarily known as a singer.
Okay.
And he was a singer and he used to play bass, or as who was it? Larry Donatelli used to say, he used the bass for napping.
Oh, that's funny. Well, really, just lean against it.
Yeah, just lean
kind of lean on
No,
it.
he was a singer. He was just a supreme singer.
That's cool.
Known as a very, 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 excellent singer.
Around these parts.
Yeah.
So he was the dude.
And that was where it all started.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. So all Middletown. When was his reign?
Oh, see, that's the thing. He was very, very young when he did something that was, he would record records and perform on television shows and things. And he was very, very young when he did that, probably well before the age of 25.
Okay. And that would have been the 50s or something?
Yeah, like he was on records in like 53, 54, 55. It was when music was very, very happy.
Sure.
And it's funny because there's like some 45s and some 78s on eBay and stuff. And I'll
really?
Yeah, it's funny. And a friend of mine will buy one and send it to me in the mail, or buy it and then text me what was his
30
name? Seconds of it. It was Johnny Corvo.
Johnny Corvo.
Yeah, so there'll be stuff that pops up. A lot of it's 78 RPM.
Wow.
But there are a few 45s out there that...
I have a gramophone. I should search for one of those.
There's a lot of 78 RPM stuff out there.
I'm going to find something.
And it's funny that like some of my clients will just like send me a record in the mail. And
like,
it's
hey,
just
here.
funny. Yeah, it's funny that they just show up sometimes.
That's awesome.
And then a buddy of mine bought one on eBay like a couple of weeks ago, and then he texted me like 30 seconds of it. He's like, "This is your dad.
This is your
great."
dad.
Yeah, it's fun.
Well, what was the circuit around here? I wonder.
Oh, I don't know how that went way back. The only part that I kind of knew for sure had
Stop doing this.
taken place. I knew for sure had taken place was, he would have like a residency gig, like
back in the day,
5-6 nights a week at the same club for 2 years,
so
3 years.
Yeah.
They had those kinds of gigs back then.
That's awesome.
Very different from what you and I
right, just one night or
used to.
Yeah, got that right.
Closest we got was like maybe you did
a weekend
at the same bar once a month or something. That's the closest I ever got to a residency.
Right. So you could just set up, just hang out.
Oh, that was the best. You had a Friday, Saturday night. That was the best,
Yeah. far out.
Yeah.
So there's your dad laying it down. Was your mom musical?
No, she played the radio. As she liked to point out, she would always be very quick to say that. I play the radio.
Sure.
That was her instrument.
Oh, that's all right. I mean, I guess that's all it took.
Yeah, but she loved the music. Yeah.
So your brother, in case people don't know, so your brother, John Corvo, is he a junior?
He is 14 months older than me.
Okay.
Yeah, he is technically my older brother, but
okay, he's your older brother.
I just look way older.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I haven't seen the two of you together lately. All right. So anyway, John Corvo, great drummer.
Right.
So musical family. And you're both singers, and he's a great singer too. That's wild. How'd that happen?
It happened very easily.
I bet.
It happened very, very easily. We just always sang together, and we would just be
singing
headphones in
singing
the basement,
came first,
listening to the same record, and he'd be on the drum set, and I'd be on my bass with my amp, and we'd be singing along with like whatever random 8-track my parents had in the stereo,
Yeah, that's awesome. How did you pick? How did he pick drums? How did that happen? You don't even remember.
My dad would always tell a story about, and Paul Bosey would always tell the story. So when John and I were literally 2 and 3.
Yep.
So, and I was a very late bloomer. So I'm probably 2 years old and probably still in a diaper. And
I'm in a diaper right now. So
too.
whatever. Ain't no thing.
Depends.
Yeah, exactly.
So when John was very young, 3 years old, and he's rat-a-tat-tatting a pair of drumsticks like on a stack of magazines or something. And at the time, I think maybe they had gotten him a snare drum. Mm-hmm. And Paul Bosey at the time was like doing gigs with my dad.
Oh, I see.
And he comes over to the house to get paid for the gig last night or something. And my dad's like, hey, you got to see my kid play the drums.
Oh, wow. That's funny.
And Bosey's like, yeah, sure. All right. Whatever, buddy. And just give me my $80.
Little did he. Yeah,
and then there's
kind of like you're waiting for me to pay you for being here right now.
Right, yeah. Well, I thought that was supposed to happen up front, but whatever. We'll work on that.
Oh, no. I almost unplugged everything. You're so funny. Fantastic. Can you imagine that? Yeah, great.
Greatest podcast ever. It was only 4 minutes long.
Exactly.
So John's 3. They give him a snare drum. Paul Bosey shows up to get paid, and John is already like double stroke rolling on a snare drummer. So he's already doing something that impressed Bosey. Bosey was impressed by it.
Oh, really?
That was how it all started was, he was like, you got to see my kid play the drums. And then Bosey very reluctantly.
And then he just goes,
and then he's like, he actually can play the drum correctly. It was very funny. That's then he looked at me, and I was laying on the floor in a diaper, like humping a couch cushion or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what are you going to do with your life? Yeah.
I'm still an amoeba over there.
That's all right.
But so, Bosey took great joy in that retelling of that because we were in a band together. So it was very neat how, he had played with our dad, and then we all were in a band together later when John and I were, still very young, but we were kind of punching above our weight class, maybe playing in a good band.
Sure.
And we were many years younger than everybody else.
Yeah.
And
that's how I came up too. That's the best thing you can do.
And as you did come up that way, you were always, younger than everybody else
the best
on
way to be.
Stage. And I'll tell you, when I was still very young, we hadn't officially met yet.
Yeah.
John and I were still relatively young. We were playing in a band that was traveling a lot, and we would play down in Florida. We would play up in Vermont during the ski season. We'd play down in Florida here and there. So we're up in Vermont playing some ski gigs up there.
Uh-huh.
You're playing the Wobbly Barn.
Oh.
With, what was the show?
8 to the Bar?
With 8 to the Bar.
Okay, yep.
And you took your drum solo with the drum machine.
Oh,
when you were in that mode, you were hitting,
sure.
But then you'd have the drum machine, and you would just like speed up the tempo, go with it, and then you would slow it down and go. And you were like,
really?
I didn't know you yet.
Oh, wow.
I don't think I knew you yet.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I hadn't, John and I were still in like the wedding band playing lounges and wedding and going up to Vermont and playing these ski.
Oh,
gigs.
so I was like
Mr.
Mr. Big Shot.
I don't know how long you were into 8 to the Bar when you were starting to do that type of solo feature. Couldn't have been very long. So, however you want to try to do the math on that, I'm thinking it was like 1989, 1990.
Could have been, yeah.
And
99,
you were probably 90. In that band maybe for a year or two by then or something. And then, so I didn't even think we knew each other yet, but I knew exactly who you were when I met you.
Oh boy. Yikes. Sorry.
You were that guy.
But I tell you what, not to be about me, but for a second, when I joined 8 to the Bar.
You got really close there when you start talking about yourself. I love it. Hey, this is Ed Corvo on WPKY, Pecky.
Wow.
Sorry.
That's okay. He, what, now you just, I don't know. Oh no, when I joined 8 to the Bar, drum solo. You have to do a drum solo. I don't like drum solos.
No drummer does.
I don't like them, and I'm no good at them. I've never been good at them. I don't like them. So that was my thing. Was I said it happened to be a song that they wanted the tempo to be right, and I was fooling around with the drum machine. And I said, you know what? I'm going to program a drum solo, so at least I know it has a beginning, middle, and end. And it'll become like a showpiece.
Yeah.
And people I fooled you because people will just think, wow, this is amazing. I'm like, no, it's completely mapped out to the note. It was a performance. It was not, because I'm not a good improviser.
Right.
Sometimes.
Not that you think you are, but you are.
But but it's not my thing. I'm not going to sit there in front of people and work.
Good.
I'm always embarrassed when I hear drum solos. I'm just like, it sounds like someone practicing.
Yeah, you get that vibe out of it.
And I'm like, I'm not going to do that in front of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the strategy of just baffle them with like, oh, check this out, and you don't realize.
Well, hey, whatever, I'm telling you, there was some the way it came across to me, and not being just a. I don't want to say. I don't mean to this to come. Everything comes out of my mouth the wrong way. So will this.
True.
Not to say that there's any disrespect, but like I'm not a regular person when I'm standing there listening to a band.
Right.
I don't want to say that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying someone who isn't a musician, let's just say that they're a regular person.
Sure.
And you and I are musicians.
Right.
For lack of a better way to separate us from the crowd.
Yeah.
So let's just say that me not being a regular person took that solo performance in it really impressed me.
Oh,
like
good.
I said, it was really excellent. So, but like you said, it was something that you're executing that, and now that makes total sense. That's why it came across so great to a non-regular person, even because you had it mapped out. And
I was trying to cover for my own
what
weaknesses.
Was that? I don't know what that. The Felonious Monk book there. Hey, the drummer's got to, you don't want to take a solo, then stand up and tell a joke. You got to do something where you draw all the attention to yourself for that segment of time.
Right.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. We have handcuffs available.
Yeah, I'll just try to keep my hands in my. Hey, I'm Italian I'm Sicilian over. That's
all right.
Hey,
so enough about me.
Enough about you.
Why bass?
My dad suggested it, actually.
Gene Simmons, that's why.
Somtum. Actually, what's really funny is even before my dad suggested I play bass, I was painting my face like Gene Simmons and spitting blood across my backyard. So
you were like, oh, that makes sense.
There was something to that.
Yeah.
And no, because then we also used to fight over who got to air guitar to solo. So Ace was the lead guitar. Sure. So if you had the Ace paint, well, Gene can't air guitar the solo. He's Gene.
Yeah.
It's against it's sacrilegious for Gene to be playing the lead guitar, So anyway, but yeah, and then my dad suggested I play bass because I started sitting at John's drum set.
Did you know the difference? What bass was, or he just said? Once he said that's what Gene Simmons plays, you said, fine, good enough for me.
Totally, no. Cool. But he did suggest it because I started sitting down at John's drum set and poking around on it, and then I would put the headphones on and try to play drums along with the songs. And my dad was like, "Hey, we already got a drummer. Why don't you play bass?
Do something else." Yeah.
So he restrung one of his righty electric.
Yeah, right.
He restrung it.
So you knew you were left-handed already.
Oh yeah, because I had the ukulele. We'll take a step back. I had kind of commandeered my dad's ukulele, and I was horsing around with that in elementary school. And then I started hitting John's drums, and my dad was like, "Hey, we already have a drummer. Let's try playing bass."
Play bass.
You know, which as it turns out, I guess was okay. Move,
why not?
You know, because it seemed to
the brother rhythm section.
That was like, we play well together.
Yeah.
After all these years.
Yeah, well, that's when then to flip it, when I first met you guys, I was like, holy cow, these guys are brothers? That's awesome.
Yeah, remember those brothers Ray used to play with?
Yeah.
Oh, they were the Lefty mutant.
Oh yeah,
drummer
the Clark
and,
brothers.
Oh, the Clark brothers.
Yeah, I gotta
talk about. Talk about
bizarre.
Yeah.
Lefty bass, but upside down, right? Not like you.
No, well, yeah, I think he was maybe playing strung righty, correct? Like you play.
Yeah.
You hold it lefty, but you're literally playing a right-handed instrument.
Yeah.
You're just holding it lefty, which, you know,
is weird.
Which isn't that weird. A lot of lefty players did play that way because right-handed instruments are easy to find. I didn't know to restring it. And Dickie Dale, he plays strung righty. A surf guitarist, that's strung righty.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, you know, it's not uncommon.
Yeah, well, we live in a right-hander's world.
Totally.
What was your first left-handed bass?
Fender. My first brand new bass was also that first bass. The 3 or 4 that I had up to that point were all righties that were set up lefty.
And then you're always, because I run this, you're always messing with the volume knob because you're...
Sometimes you're accidentally hitting it with the forearm. All very, very common things. That was part of the things that was a problem that kind of worked to my advantage because it taught me to plant my plucking hand somewhere specific.
Oh, that's cool.
Like I came to that organically from having a problem with the controls being on the wrong side of the body. So it just taught me to kind of bend my wrist a little more than usual to keep my forearm off the body of the bass. So you'll see even now playing the lefty instrument,
you're still doing that.
You'll see that my wrist is kind of overly bent to a degree sometimes when I start really laying in. And it's because of those righty instruments being in the way.
That's cool.
Yeah, and that just developed that way. But so my first brand new instrument and also first lefty legit instrument was a brand new Fender 3/4 sized bass. I think it was called a Mustang.
I was going to just say that. Yeah.
It had one pickup, I think, and it was black on black with a maple neck rosewood board, I would presume.
Yeah, sure.
But it was technically my first left-handed bass, brand new instrument that we waited weeks and weeks and weeks for
when's it
to come in.
Yeah.
You know.
Why didn't you just get Amazon Prime?
Oh,
been here
well,
overnight.
Sure.
Yeah. If only that existed.
I'm so glad that didn't exist because hunting for instruments has been one of the coolest things in ways about this. When you find something that's excellent, like I used to love to go into Creative Jump Shop when Jeff was working there because it's like, you know, I love hitting a kick drum.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
One of the best things in the world. You're sitting at a real drum set and you hit the kick drum and you hear a little bit of the floor tom head resonate and a little bit of the snare resonate. You hear the whole drum set kind of play the kick drum. You hear the... So going into... I'm just getting goosebumps just talking about it.
Wow.
Going into creative on the Silas Dean there. And kicking a kick drum in a room that has 100 cymbals and 40 snare drums and 30 other drums. Like you would hear it. And
that's cool.
I would get those. I'm literally getting goosebumped thinking about those overtones coming off of all of that musical metal hanging on the wall.
You know what you should do? Instead of your stupid chimes that you bring to everything, you should have your own bass drum.
Hold on, what time did we start?
Yeah, right.
I want to mark that.
Bring a bass. Yeah,
7:26. 7:26.
When he mentioned
the chimes suck. 7:26. Chimes suck.
You should bring your own bass drum.
And just randomly play it.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of a song, completely randomly.
Yeah. You'll be the drummer that brings his own
I played
bass.
the chimes. You were like, you know, I don't just play some big random percussion note in the middle of this song.
That would be... Can you imagine being that guy? You're like... Because that's my thing. Okay, then we'll get into it.
That was
But
good.
So,
Oh, man.
and you tell me if you think this is true. Now, see, this would solve the problem. I mean, as a rule, you don't have to. The kick drum and the bass guitar don't have to play exactly the same thing. But but that's the way I think it's supposed to start. If you want to play more bass notes, speaking as a drummer, I like to play patterns. So if I set up a pattern on my kick, I'm never going to change it for the whole verse, right? And bass players, my pet peeve with, I can't think, I wouldn't even mention any names you're not one of them, put it that way. It's like, I don't care if you play everything else, but put a bass guitar note where my kick drum is, please. And then, but a lot of bass players, they don't do that. They play everything but, and I'm just like, you can play a pattern, and then.
But it's got to jive.
It's got to be together.
You have to play it together.
And you could solve that. Just bring your own kick drum, and then you're just one. Doom.
I thought we were gonna get serious. We're still on that. We're still on the jokes. Would solve the problem. Oh, you got jokes. Oh, Pecky got jokes.
That would solve the whole problem. Then I wouldn't even have to bring a kick drum on the gig. I could just bring.
You could just bring everything else. I got the kick.
Yeah,
I got it.
We might be
honest.
You know what? Now you got me.
Might be
I
honest.
wonder if you could ever.
You get a bass string. Let me finish. You get a bass string that's on one of like the cymbal arms, so you can intonate it. Bing, 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 bing.
Sure.
So you play the bass note, and I'll play the kick drum.
Oh wow.
And then we'll be a rhythm section that way.
That'd be crazy. Wow. That would. You know.
No.
What?
Okay. So, but to that point.
Wait till the Wobbly Bar gets a.
I will say specifically. So, I do remember there was one time you were going for something really specifically in reggae where you didn't want to play your kick drum on the one, and you wanted me to make sure that I was always forever present where you weren't putting the kick drum. There was that one part of the way it works. That one exception to the rules when you were really going for that.
Yep.
You were going for a very certain dynamic, and we were trying to achieve that.
Yeah.
And my natural instinct to just try to play along with you.
Right.
I started leaving the one a little bit. And you were like, no, I need you to be right
one time
on
reggae.
that one specific beat that you were going for. And
reggae.
Again, another part of the fun.
It's a contrapuntal rhythm thing.
Right.
When you put the parts together, they make
it's more than the sum of the parts, exactly, and that's what my goal is every time I play somewhere. That's what every musician's goal is. That
should be
the ensemble creation is better in every way than the sum of all the parts.
Yep.
The perfect example is the thing everybody hates to play, Sissy Strut.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's the perfect example
of
that.
That's a reason.
It's what proves the theory.
Yeah, it does.
You know?
That is definitely true.
Yeah.
Who were your first bass heroes? Who got you in? Who were you like, oh, okay, this is what...
Okay, so...
Beyond Gene Simmons.
Okay, so there's that. But, so just specifically, just the instrument voice itself was always, I didn't know it at the time, but it was Jimmy Jamerson.
Sure.
I didn't know who he was when I was 9, listening to these Motown songs and hearing that, boom, ba, ba, boom, ba, ba, boom, that, and he did it all with one plucking finger.
Crazy.
And I'm like, one plucking finger? Crazy. I'm not editing myself. The term plucking is what we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
But he would roll. That was one of the things. He would roll over the string.
He was a bad mother plucker.
Bad mother plucker.
Yeah.
Shut your mouth.
Yeah, I'm talking about James.
So, I didn't know who he was yet, but I knew that that music was like the bass voice influence were those kind of tunes. And then early on, McCartney.
Yep.
And not necessarily Beatles, because I hadn't heard everything Beatles yet by age 12.
Sure.
But I had heard some things that were not the Beatles, but were McCartney. And like I would try to play silly love songs because that's one of the happiest bass lines in the world. And it was so hard to play.
Oh, and you're like, okay.
I'm like, well, that's what I want to play. I want to play that.
Yeah, see, I don't like making people happy.
Yeah.
when it comes to music.
Well,
that's not my thing.
Well, keep being a teacher.
No, I know. Yeah, that's cool. So McCartney.
Yeah, so McCartney early on with that, and then I was just saying it to Ray the other night, Saturday.
Yeah.
Everything Stevie Wonder. I had gotten Musiquarium, the double vinyl. He released the Musiquarium double vinyl.
Sure.
And I would, all of that bass, all of that. And then I was like, so now I want to play along with that.
Sure.
I was trying to play along with that. And then Lee Sklar with the Barney Miller theme.
Oh,
my God!
Awesome.
I sat there.
Yeah,
because it's not like you could. I mean, I could have gone to Radio Shack and got a transistor cassette and sat there when Barney Miller came on and recorded it, so I could play it back over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
But I didn't, so I would just sit there and try to play it.
Yeah.
You know, and the theme from Barney Miller, that was like.
Yeah, you have to look at TV Guide to figure out when you're going to practice.
The theme to Barney Miller. Made me want to play. I'm pretty sure that's Lee Sklar. Too bad we don't have a device in our pocket. We could just Google that. Hold on. We'll be right back.
I always call Google Assassin of Wonder. Because you don't have to wonder anything. It's like it assassinates your wonder.
It's the assassination of wonder.
You can't wonder anymore. It's been eliminated. You can wonder for as long as it takes.
For as long as it takes to put it in.
And you're like, I now know it. I possess the knowledge. Google.
So yeah, so I guess that the theme song from Barney Miller was like probably the earliest thing that I could really put my finger on. It made me want to play bass. It's like I want to play that. That's probably the earliest thing. So what was that, 1976, 77, 78, when that show came out?
You're asking me as if I'm Google.
Hey, whatever. You're older than I am.
I am?
I think so.
Wow. Yeah, I don't want to say how old I am.
All right, well, you're older than 40, because I'm 40.
Oh, yeah, I'm way older than 40, dude. Got news for you.
I just went bald really early.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, that's funny. All right, I don't want to skip forward too far, but you just reminded me of something. Now that's funny because you said I could go to Radio Shack and record it off the TV. I used to do that, record things off the TV. I would hold the tape recorder up to the TV.
Right.
And one of the tapes, I probably still have it somewhere, was we just got this thing called HBO.
Oh.
And there was a Linda Ronstadt concert.
Oh, yeah.
That I taped, and it was Danny Cooch on guitar. And I used to listen to that and practice it every day.
Wow.
That whole album.
Long con for that gig,
Never dreaming. Right. That me and you would play with that dude.
Right.
Yeah.
What a long con.
Crazy. Yeah,
Crazy long con.
Yeah, I'm good like that.
Hey, now. Yeah.
I can make.
Play your chess
I'm going to make everything about myself. Anything that you say will
all
be
roads.
Did I ever tell you about the time that I? Yeah. Exactly. Why do you think it's my show, dude? Thanks for adding to my story. Thanks for coming. That's us, by the way. Actually, you know what? That's me and Tom Izzo.
Really?
Yeah, listen to this. We're going to take the time out and listen to the theme. I'm playing bass and drums on this theme, and that's Tom. Or no, actually, no, never mind. He redid everything. I'm playing drums. Tom's playing everything. Tom Izzo, our other left-handed friend.
I love him.
He made this theme. That's him. Tom Izzo. You can get him up here.
Nice.
Anyway, that's Tom Izzo.
Hey, the first time I heard that, I thought you just got that off Google.
No, that's us.
Killed the wonder of it all.
Yeah, no, that's not library music. That's custom.
Oh, no, we made that. With our souls.
Yeah, how about that? But, all right, so you started playing. Is your brother the only drummer that you played with back then? How did you start?
Yeah, like until high school, yeah. Until I got into high school, yeah, because I was the late bloomer. I wasn't, like when John and I were probably like 8, 9 years old, like he was already getting deployed to go fill in with a band that needed a drummer or something. That somebody heard, hey, Johnny Corvo's kid plays, get him to, and he's like 11 or something.
Yeah, Posey says he did a paradiddle the other
day. But at a very young age, he was able to literally go play the drum set in a band, pay attention to the musicians, play basically every rudimentary
Sure.
drum beat feel that you would
Yep.
want a sub showing up to have in his bag.
Sure.
A samba, the whatever, all the Latin things, the whatever. He could already pull off every genre very young. So he was already, getting asked to go fill in with a band at age, 10, 11 or something like that. Very, very young.
That's crazy.
I hadn't even really started to play bass yet.
Oh, wow.
Until about age 11 or 12.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
So yeah, and then once I started playing, then it was like we got paired up with a keyboard player that was in a band with one of our older sisters.
Okay.
And then John started doing gigs with him, and then I would play bass on like 5 songs, and I would just play tambourine and cowbell and hand
those
percussion
stupid chimes.
and you wonder why I like adding percussion.
I'm sorry.
It comes from when I was 11 and I didn't play bass yet. I would play a fuchi and tambourine and cowbell, and I would sing, and that was my contribution.
I get it. I'm sorry. Now I understand. It's part of your thing. I get it.
It shouldn't be, but it
See,
is.
because self-centered as I am, I thought you were doing it just to annoy me. Didn't realize.
I mean, there's 35%
to
of
do
that
with
in
me.
there now. When I think about it now, it's like every time I rake the chimes, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. You can't.
I can't say
We have
that.
to post.
Sorry.
It's okay. That's all right. Don't worry about it.
I knew I was. All right, let's strike that time as well.
No,
Let's
that's all
see.
right. I got it. I got it. Just
7:38.
about 30. Right before 30, Eddie said the F word.
7:38. Ed got Peckman's
Yeah.
podcast canceled. Good. Okay. Routine.
No, that's all right. It's a matter of time.
I'm
before
sorry.
This is too
Hey,
much.
I made
don't
it
care.
38 minutes
Don't worry
without
about
an F-bomb. That's not.
He's done. We can do post. Don't worry about it. Anyway.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Should have edited that, but
No.
we can't. So.
Yeah. Fuck it. Whatever. At this point. No, I'm just kidding. All right. That's enough.
Wow.
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 So, when did it become Corvo Brothers rhythm section? Like, boom.
Kind of when Michael Cleary had his group, The Bus.
Okay.
And John and I were in our wedding group / bar band, and we were still high school students, and we were in between guitar players.
Mm-hmm.
And Michael was the local
Sure.
guitar player here, working in the music store on Main Street, Middletown, and he was just, everybody knew he was an excellent guitar player. So we started asking him to come fill in with us on a wedding or on a bar gig or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then next thing you know, he's asking us to go make his record with him.
Oh, nice.
And we were like, hell, let me think about that. Yes.
Yeah, right. Right.
So we immediately just made that record.
So it's then it's the Michael Cleary band with the fabulous flying Corvo Brothers.
So that was just it. So we get into the studio, and just that working on that first project in the studio, Michael Arafay goes, "Yeah, you guys are like the Just Add Water rhythm section," and that's like where it kind of
beautiful.
That's where it kind of happened.
No, he was here, Mr.
Oh
Arafay.
yeah. Oh, I love Michael.
Yeah, I do too. That was a good one.
Yeah, he's super.
Yep.
He's super. So I was one of my first, I got to do a recording session at Arafay's house for like this rock band, this local rock band that did a record there. And I got to do that when I was like 15 or something in his studio. And
how exciting.
Great. Yeah.
You're like, man, this is big time.
Well, no, John and I had done one when we were like 13 and 14. I know because of the instrument I was playing at the time. It was like pre that awesome Fender bass I had. So I was still pretty young. And we were already doing these gigs with this keyboard player. And next thing you know, we're doing this like, we're going to go do a recording studio session.
Great.
Okay, well, what is it? Well, it's some, like store down in New Jersey that needs a radio spot. And you guys are going to make a little audio track to go behind it, maybe sing some stuff.
Right.
Exactly.
Something like that.
And we did just that. We showed up at the studio like down in Milford or New Haven or somewhere down in Fairfield County, and studio kit sitting there, DI and headphones sitting there, and
away we go.
And boom, and then the producer came in and he handed out some music, and he was like, "All right, this is what I want. I want to go like this, and then I want this, and then and we were like, okay. And then we just like basically just started
Made up
playing a groove
Yeah.
that was basically like a typical disco beat
Yeah.
type of open kind of groove.
Yep.
And I was just octaving, disco
Sure.
octaving. And he was like, oh yeah, that'll work. So
Great.
next thing you know,
Just threw out.
we were sitting there. Bass, drums, keys. We play that groove for like 4 minutes, and he's like, "All right, great. Now get in the vocal booth."
Wow. What was
It's just so funny.
Does it exist? Where is it?
You know,
We'll make that the new theme if you can.
I'll
find
tell
it.
you, I know it won't exist anywhere, but it was like this store in New Jersey that was like this wall coverings, like fabulous wall coverings, and we had to sing fabulous wall coverings, and we were playing this little disco groove. It was like fast, and it was easy, and it was great, and the producer guy was like freaking he was like ear to ear grin, like, and he thought he was. And
he thought he was running it.
He didn't do a thing.
Sit down, we got
he had zero contribution to the music, and it was like what was that movie Crazy about the Nashville guitar player who would be assigned the recording studio job as guitar player.
I don't know.
And like this guy's producer, this guy's arranger,
Yep.
and he's the guitar player. And by the end of the session, those two guys are out smoking a cigarette,
Yeah, right.
and he's in there making the song amazing, Grammy Award-winning song, and these two guys get the credit. And it was kind of like it was neat. We just sat there and played something that was very familiar and very comfortable.
Cool.
And the guy was like, "Oh, that's perfect." It was great.
It's producer's job.
Oh, exactly. Tell your talent how good they are.
Yep.
Surround yourself with greatness.
Groovy. Yeah.
Are we taking a break, or are we
Nope.
we're gonna burn straight
Yeah,
through?
we're gonna burn. How far do you want to go?
I mean, I haven't looked in a mirror in a while, so. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Gee whiz. All right. Well, you just made Dave lose it. So you're playing gigs. Is this your livelihood at this point?
Well, no, because I'm 12. You know,
Oh, okay.
14. You know, whatever. I'm still in high school. So
Oh,
it was great.
I would have thought your
being,
dad would have kicked you out by then.
Yeah,
You guys
right.
are on your own. Good old days.
You know, I'll tell you, my mom and dad drove us to so many gigs.
Yeah, mine too.
When we were young. And then we get into high school, and now I'm like playing along with Iron Maiden, Number of the Beast every day after school, working on my chops.
Sure.
Oh my, like Steve Harris. Yeah. And now I was like, I'm working on my chops. And then I would go play like disco songs in a wedding band on Saturday, and then play in a bar and play a rock and roll song in a bar, and then a top 40 tune, a Pat Benatar tune or something. We just played everything. It was great.
Sure.
But then I would go home and put the headphones on with the record player and practice with Number of the Beast or something to try to get my chops up, because it was impossible to play.
Chops that you would never use, really.
But you still need.
Sure.
You still need to be able to swing the axe, you know?
Yep.
You still need that. You still need to be able to. So I would like play along with them, you know, with that kind of stuff when I was really young. That was helping me develop. And then the music store at Rivers Music on Main Street, Middletown, and then that's when I found, you know, I started listening to Jocko.
Okay.
So it was like 1985,
Yeah, right.
87. And then once I heard that, I was like, oh
yeah.
Every drummer now is gonna hate me, because now I'm gonna play like Jocko.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but
yeah,
you're not like that.
Not now. No, it took me 30 years to grow out of that.
I hear you.
I'm still growing out of overplaying.
Really? I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I always tell people that.
You can always play less.
That's what I always tell people. That's what I love about your playing, that you play the least amount of notes of anybody. But I like that because I'm kind of the same way.
Yeah.
If
I'm not
happy,
super comfortable in
right.
the scenario, obviously you're going to play as little as possible. You don't want to overplay your hand and expose a clam unnecessarily because you're trying to play.
Yeah.
But you know, once I'm comfortable with something, and if you call me out on the harmonics and stuff, and it's like, oh, it's funny once, it's great once, but you start doing it every song, and then but yeah, I get carried away. But I get carried away if it's a trio gig.
Right.
It kind of still isn't getting in the way because it's just a trio gig, and you can kind of can embellish everywhere and still not really get into trouble.
Right.
You know.
No, but you know, that's what I like about you playing.
Yeah, thank you.
It's the right. Yeah, and we both kind of go for that. Like, just let it happen.
Yes.
And let the other people, they can chatter.
Case in point, Saturday. Case in point, Saturday.
Yeah, we played a gig Saturday.
We played a gig together on Saturday. I'll say it directly to the camera so everybody knows I'm serious.
Sure.
Get really close. So we played together for the first time on Saturday. That was for the first time in a while. Since before COVID.
Yeah.
Probably. So let's put a round number on it. Probably the first gig we did together in almost 2 years.
Could be.
Because COVID's been a year and a half.
Could be.
So I had some friends had come to, see the show.
Yep.
And I had one friend of mine, old friend of mine, not somebody that I knew very well, but somebody that I met a long time ago, and our paths have crossed several times over the years. It's great running into him, and because we had a lot of fun when we were young, when we first met, and we were in our early 20s, and we had fun. We were in a nice little
Back when
group
things
of
were
fun stuff, and he coincidentally was there Saturday.
Oh, cool.
On total chance. He was just happened to be there.
Oh, wow.
And he goes, I can't believe, he goes, when I saw your name on the thing on the internet, that I was like, I was so excited that it had to be the same Ed Corvo.
Sure.
So,
Yeah,
thank God there's only one.
Yeah. Wow.
So he was just so happy to be there, and I was like really happy to see him, and I made the point. I said, look, just so you know, we have never played about 80% of those tunes together as a group. Ever.
Yeah, and I'm playing on someone else's kit.
And you're on somebody else's drums, and we didn't even run through anything during a sound check or anything. And he was like, wow, you guys sounded so good, and it was really good. And I was like,
that's what we're good at.
And that's because we're good at playing together. It sounded very good. I had a couple of other friends that are, industry people that were there that were like, you guys sounded like a legit, offering. And I was like, well, technically we were.
Yeah.
We just weren't rehearsed.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean,
but it was fun to go there, just cold,
figure it out,
and crush.
Yeah.
Pretty well. In my opinion, I thought like I said, we haven't played together in a long time. It was really, it was fun to have a good environment. Yeah. People that were enthusiastic.
Yep.
And plus, when you got the caliber of, you and Atticus, Ray, Tim. Yeah. I'm standing there with the four of you. Oh yeah, it's a no-brainer. It's going to be great.
Well, that's where I told you, kiddo. It's where you belong.
Stick with me, kid. I'll have you farting through silk.
That's right. I always say that.
That's a good line.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's a good line.
Cool.
Aider from Decatur, get this player to Vegas.
I know that one. I don't know. That's funny. You know that one, Dave?
No.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, I don't know. This doesn't seem to be particularly linear, which I don't mind. I don't care. It's all good. It's all good. Eventually, you still play with your brother.
We do. We still play together every week.
Yeah.
Almost every week.
Right.
I do steady Friday gig. Yeah, we're probably not going to plug stuff, but I do a steady Friday gig. John does about 80% of those. So I do see him. We get to play together, which is even more important sometimes than just seeing each other. But we also try to play golf together once a week. Lately we've been getting together to play golf once a week, at least doing one gig a week together. So I do get to see him.
So you can argue in a different setting.
Oh, we used to.
Not argue on the golf course.
Oh, we can argue anyway. I can argue with anybody. I can argue with them. But that was one of the other observations. One of the sidemen in the wedding band, guitar player guy, Frank, he would be like, you guys would argue the same side of the thing. It's white. No, it's not. It's white. Yeah. No, it's not. It's white. No, it's not. I said it's white. No, it's white. Like, we would literally...
That's funny.
But then it was time to play, and it was like, boom.
Yeah, well.
Yeah,
that's the way it is.
It was time to play. All that horse shit went away. It was bandstand was never the place for anything but a good performance, I guess. Cool. Is what you want to try to... Yeah, and that was the other Joe Fonda. Remember Joe Fonda?
Nope.
Bass player Joe Fonda? Up from the Sky?
Nope.
Joe Fonda?
No.
If I say it 4 more times, will you
Yeah,
remember?
yeah, eventually, yeah.
Do you?
Joe.
Does Kosminski remember
Oh, yeah.
Joe Fonda?
Oh, I do.
Oh, you do?
Clearly
Dave
knew
does.
he was. He was a upright player, electric player.
Okay.
And I remember one time his amp quit or his cable quit or something, and the guitar player wanted to stop, and he was like, he just kept smiling and playing his instrument with no sound coming out of the amplifier.
Oh, nice.
For another 30 seconds, and then they end the song. Because you know what? People listen with their eyes.
The show must go on.
Show must go on. People listen with their eyes.
Yeah.
That was the other. They're listening with their eyes. They're not.
Right.
My dad loved to tell the
Did
story.
you ever taste with your ears?
I do.
I've done that.
I do.
that?
Honey's great with the ears. It's fantastic. Lapping it up with my ears.
Ooh.
My dad used to tell the story. He goes, typical on a night off. I went to a nightclub, live music. I walk in, typical like when any musician walks into a nightclub, the
Sure.
band is on break. Right? He walks in, band's on break.
Yeah.
He steps up to the bar and he says to a total stranger, "Hey, how's the band?" And the guy goes, "Oh, they're great. They change their outfits every set." That's what they're
Beautiful.
setting the.
Yeah, right. That's what they think.
That's the scale
That means
there.
that's how good they are.
They're listening with their eyes.
They're
Oh, I
amazing.
saw them
They have-
change their
These
outfits.
guys are great. They have 3 pairs of pants.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
They changed their outfits.
Boy.
Wow.
Yeah, imagine
So that was that other side of that. And then Joe Fonda, when he was doing that performance and his amp quit and he just
Kept
kept
going.
pretending to play for another 30
Showbiz.
seconds.
Man.
Exactly
Sure,
right.
Why not?
Hey, if the ambient noise in that room was 10 dB louder, nobody would have known his amp quit.
Yeah, right. right.
You
Yeah,
know, like-
imagine that. Better than I paying attention. Yeah.
Facts.
Yep. When did you start playing guitar? How'd that?
Yeah.
Because you've been known to strum and.
Because I have friends that are guitar players. I actually started playing guitar like probably, I don't know, age 16, 17, something like that.
Yeah?
16 or
Oops.
17.
Wow.
Yeah. But never tried to seriously ever play guitar in a ensemble or solo performance setting until about 10 years ago.
Oh, it's been that long.
Yeah, like I've been doing solo gigs for about 10 years.
Oh, wow.
I started doing solo gigs probably about 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Before that, I was doing some duo gigs
Yep.
with Ray or something, and I would play bass on
Sure.
half the tunes, play guitar and sing some tunes, and have him to lean on because surround yourself with greatness.
Wow, yeah.
But yeah, now I strum and sing, and I do. I enjoy doing solo gigs because there's no other musicians on stage to piss off.
Right. Yeah, just you.
It's just me.
That's fine. That
Yeah.
works.
I also can't.
I think you're best as a solo act.
Yeah, exactly.
In life.
Everybody
No,
does.
I know. No, it's awesome.
But yeah, so 10 years ago was like the solo gig was when I started doing that. So that's, I'm still in kind of the infancy of that. I still enjoy that.
That's all right. What the hell? Yeah, you're not totally burnt out on it
On
yet, like
Saturday,
everything else.
I became the jaded guy.
Yeah.
On Saturday, you're like, I love this. You're making me look like the positive guy up here.
Oh yeah, I know. What's up with that?
I'm the jaded guy
Yeah,
now.
that's crazy. I know Ed's taking a more dark
And
attitude.
it's like first
Makes
world
me look
problems.
better because I'm usually the bummer. Well, you're becoming the
Right,
bummer.
I'm the brother bummer now.
Wow.
I'm brother bummer. Look
Keep it
out.
up.
And I got the low notes to put everybody in a bad mood.
Keep it up because, like I say, you're making me. I'm
Exactly.
rising up. now.
Everybody's like, wow, Peckman's so upbeat. No, that's
Yeah.
just because he's standing next to Corvo.
Great, beautiful, love it. Yeah, keep up the good work.
You know it.
Awesome. All right, I'm gonna ask some stupid questions, and then we're gonna leave.
Okay. 7. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
exactly,
Go ahead.
exactly. Are you a consistent practicer of your instrument? You don't have to be. I'm just curious.
Not anymore.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, not anymore. I used to be, and not lately.
So you just kind of let it happen, let the circumstance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not lately. I will shed tunes and things like that if
Mhm.
I have to prepare for
Yep.
something, but I don't shed my instrument really any.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been anyway.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'm just curious.
Is this a confessional? What?
No. I just think it's interesting because I go about me. I go either way. Sometimes I never practice, and there's other times when I practice a lot. I'm trying to work on something, and when I have musicians here, I ask them, and I think it's interesting.
Yeah, no,
some
everyone's
people
got their own.
consistently get a thing going, and I was never one of those people like some people that always, every day, always, it's like that's their personal journey.
Right.
I'm kind of like that sometimes.
I will play a guitar almost every day.
Oh, yeah?
Only because I just keep one next to my my workspace.
Yeah, that's cool.
Somebody puts me on hold.
Yep.
I'll just grab a guitar.
Sure. Why not?
Yeah, because it's handy.
Yeah, it's pretty groovy.
Yeah, keep it in handy.
If you could pick one desert island album, are you a big listener of music? Because I hear that musicians sometimes are
Sometimes I don't like to listen to music at all because I need to just listen to my own thoughts for a while.
Sure.
That's why, taking a 5-mile walk, sometimes I'll listen to music while I'm taking a 5-mile walk. Sometimes I literally need to not listen to music this time because I need to work some shit. Oh, sorry. Need to work some stuff out.
Yep.
But yeah, if I had, I mean, it'd be hard to settle on one.
Of course. Nobody can.
On one thing, you really just can't.
Are.
I mean, maybe, like I said before, like give Musicarium 1, like.
How wrong can you go?
I never got tired of listening to that when I was, 14, and I'm sure I wouldn't get tired of listening to it right now, so.
Yeah, I think that would be I would be satisfied.
Plus it's great instrumentation throughout, and, a lot of live horns and stuff.
Sure.
It's real listenable.
Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
Musicarium.
Yeah.
I'd go with that. It's a good one. All right. I narrowed this down. I had a better way to ask this question, and I forgot because I've been thinking about it. I know I can't remember, so I'm just gonna ask it the same stupid way. Did you ever? What's your favorite food? What could you eat
Sandwiches. Just kidding.
every day? Like
Sandwiches.
Sandwiches. Any kind of sandwich.
Just put something on a sandwich.
Anything.
Almost anything.
Wow. So sandwiches. That's
Sandwiches. That's from Friends.
Okay.
So.
Well, that was easy. Any particular kind, or what kind of bread, sir?
Sandwich bread.
All right, this is going nowhere. I got it. Maybe stop asking this question. I mean, I thought of the best way to ask this question.
I like salsas.
Yeah.
Oh,
salsas.
So good.
Is it 3 or 2?
Middletown, I think, is salsas 3.
3. Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Because I told you we moved to Berlin. I was sad because I go home different. There's 4.
Just go 4 on the turnpike. The pork belly.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah.
I'll talk about something that's greater than the sum of its parts.
Yeah.
Pork belly taco at Salsa's.
I never had one.
Way better than the sum of its parts.
Mm.
Yeah. Something about that.
I could get into that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
I went there 21 days in a row. I ate it 21 days in a row.
Really?
Salsa's.
Can you do that?
I ate lunch at Salsa's Newington Monday through Friday. Then
right, 'cause you
had Salsa's Middletown Saturday and Sunday. Then did Newington Monday through Friday again.
Whoa.
Then did Middletown Saturday and Sunday.
Frequent flyer.
And then did Newington like a couple of days that third week. I had 21 consecutive days that I ate salsas in a row.
Wow, that's good. You win.
Yeah.
We got it. They have to find out that we're talking.
I
about
win.
That. Yeah, you win. Yeah. They got to find out we're talking about it.
It's so good. And having it right in Middletown, that's less than a mile.
It really is.
Sometimes I just walk over there and get it and walk home.
Far out.
Yeah, it's so good. Very, very good.
Yeah. What else? Do you want to acknowledge that we played with Danny Korchmar? Do we talk about that? Do you have anything to say about that?
It was my big iron in the fire. It was something that I am so proud of, and I always try to direct people to some of the stuff, some of the content that's out there, because it was, something that I was very proud to be a part of, and the fact that you pulled me into that made me realize how far up, the ladder I could possibly be considered. So
I guess.
Well, I'm just saying, I've always been good at playing and singing together with anybody.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of got me into that situation was right the first time we all got together. But I knew that was what was going to happen the first time we all got together, because the first time I get together with any group of excellent musicians and I'm the weak
you
link.
Know what, yeah, you think you are, but you're not.
But I'm just saying, you know
what to do.
Right out of the chute, dude. That first gig we did in Avon, Old Farms.
Yeah.
My stepkids were there.
Oh yeah.
They were dumbfounded.
Yeah.
Talking about two of the smartest, most capable people that I know. My wife's grown children, Becky and Oliver. You know, they were there. They could not believe like the caliber of what we did that night.
Hey, that's cool. Thank you.
So you know, to get pulled into that, that was always. I love talking about it. I love thinking about it. I love the gigs we did. Were some of the best gigs I've ever participated in.
I agree. I'm glad it was you. I'm glad.
Oh God, yeah. So great to be able to, and what was really great was, after he left, I went and did a NAMM show, and I got to see him, and at least see him, just face to face, and chill. That's and cool. We didn't get to play together out there when I went out, but I did get to literally give him a hug and hang out with him and chat and take a walk away from the exhibit and just go chat with him for a little while over here with a coffee, and it was nice to just be in the space with him, because hey, he pulled one of my original tunes into the mix. It's like, he doesn't have to do that.
Yeah, but
just the fact that he was like, pulling Tim's tune in, pulling one of my tunes in, and wanting to kind of mix it up a little bit and take it, but then he would let us explore. He wasn't like musical director, this is what you're playing. He knew to just let us play together, and it was good right away. And then we started to fine tune it a little bit, and then we got very dynamic, and it's like and then we got to shoot that video, and some of that stuff that he put out, I'm like, I'm pretty proud of this.
Oh yeah, me too,
dude. Whenever somebody asks me if I know a good drummer, I go, "Oh, watch the first 11 seconds of Lost in the Shuffle on YouTube." When we did Lost in the Shuffle, that you just I'm just getting ready. Like it's just.
I appreciate it.
It's and then that fill comes in with the cowbell, and it was I was like, man, see.
Whatever.
But so always, that was like the big iron in the fire. It was a good accomplishment.
It was.
It was some of the, nicer scenarios to be. You know what else really? You know what I really loved about doing those gigs?
What?
Was when we played with Chappie at Bridge Street.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was.
And we all got up at the end of the night, and you were like pushing.
Yeah.
You were like pushing, and then Chappie's guy was playing bass, and I grabbed one of my acoustics ready to go with Big Al, and you were like,
Here we go.
You and Chappie were like, hey, is somebody else here want to take a solo?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
that was fun.
It was a great night.
Yeah,
I didn't want to go to sleep.
Yeah,
I went home. I was like, oh my God, I don't want to ever go to sleep. I don't ever want this night to end.
Clearly.
But I'm just saying, I was saying it not horribly long ago. Like, that was the first time doing some of those gigs with him. It was the first time in 20 years I was nervous playing a gig.
Wow.
The first time in 2 decades, like in 20 years.
I didn't know any of that.
First time that I was like, all right, not gonna. I mean, I know I was hitting the flask when we were rehearsing and stuff, but I was, I'm smoking the pot, hitting the flask. I'm sorry if we can't say that. But
it's legal now.
I was doing it in a rehearsal, and he was fine with it. He wasn't saying, "Hey, not on my time." He was cool with it. But I would not allow myself to get even the slightest bit of a buzz before any of those performances. I'm like, no, I'm gonna get through. We're getting through this set. I'm gonna get through this set. I am very, very prepared for this night. Like I was just like holding myself accountable to not be the story.
Yeah.
Don't be the story.
Don't be the story.
So
no, I thought it was cool. I didn't realize you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I was holding myself right against the up against the wall.
I'm glad we have some kind of record of it, because I agree that was kind of the high point. I was just like, okay.
Oh yeah.
This is cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Very good.
Glad it was us.
Man, me too. It was very good. And Tim is so great. And every time we get to play, and some of the other, even when it's I don't want to say a nothing gig. No gig is a nothing gig, but even when it's just a regular bar gig, just something stupid and he's just always so good, and we're very, very blessed to be playing with people the caliber that they are, and that we get to play with them.
So bad.
Holy moly! I mean, I've gone to Nashville 10 times.
Yeah, no, I've never been.
But have you been to Austin?
Yes.
Okay, well, Austin is Nashville on steroids.
Yeah, right.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar layout. Very similar the way the music is all around you.
Yeah.
In Austin, same way in Nashville. Every joint you walk in, there's a band, and 80% of the joints there's no cover, and 65% of those joints you think the band is good.
Yeah, right.
So it's like you walk in, there's no cover. You order a beer, the band is good.
Yeah. This is great.
Rinse and repeat.
Yeah,
you go to the next door down. You walk in, you order a beer. The band is good.
That's awesome.
And it happens 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Then you get the one that's bad, but there's no cover. You chug the beer and you leave. And you go to the next one down the line. And that's what Nashville and Austin are both like. The one difference that I noticed was Austin had more large-scale, non-live music nightclubs.
Oh, okay.
Dance clubs.
Oh, right, sure.
They had way more of that than Nashville did. Nashville had all the juke joints and live music and no cover and they
got to represent.
Austin had more large-scale, dance clubs with bump and sizzle house music. More of that. No, absolutely not. It's great.
Far out.
Yeah.
Do you have any last words? Anything you'd like to say? You want to tell us?
I'd like to thank the Academy. It's a great honor.
Yeah.
Whatever. I play, I do a solo gig every Thursday.
Okay.
A Sadler's Patio in Marlboro. I play the solo acoustic every Thursday. I do that psychedelic 60s band every Friday night at the Griswold Inn in Essex.
Okay.
And I'm a mile walk from Connecticut Valley School of Music here on Main Street, Portland. I walk by this place. Well, I used to walk over here all the time.
Yeah, we've done that.
We'll get back to that when they're finished. When they're finished.
Yeah, we've taken a walk over the bridge a couple of times.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was on a kick for a while. I did a 5-mile walk. I would leave my house, over the bridge, go down to, I think it's Bartlett Street, where they have the brownstone monument in the middle there. I would go to Bartlett Street, was 2.5 miles from my house. So I would do that. So I would not turn around till I got to it was Bartlett or bust, Bartlett and back. It was like whatever. And then sometimes listening to great music and my guilty pleasure is Dirty Loops. Right now.
Yeah.
Listening to that, I'll tell you, nothing makes me walk faster than listening to that.
You know what I've done? I don't know if you could ever do this. I used to do this when I forget how far it was. It might have been 5 miles, but I used to load up. All right, let me think. All 6 David Lee Roth Van Halen albums, and I would walk in one direction until Women and Children First was over, and then I would turn around. And it was perfect, because I was like, I'm going to listen to all, because the albums are like 25 minutes.
25 minutes aside, right?
Yeah, so it would be like, I would go, and as soon as the last track on Women and Children First, like you say.
That was the halfway point.
Turn around, and I would get home right as 1984 was over. Be like, okay.
It would be just past the point of no return. Mm-hmm. To come back on fumes.
Yep. I recommend that.
I feel like we could have accomplished so much more with this podcast.
Oh, really? All right, well, you know what?
We got to wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up. We're going to Dave. We're wrapping it up.
What else do I have to add?
Anything else? Gonna plug anything else,
Dave? Dave is disoriented.
He's going to go to the NAMM show with me this year.
Okay. All right. So, hey, you heard it here first. Pecky at NAMM.
Yeah, I'll do. I keep
more to follow.
Keep threatening to do it, and then I never do.
It's fun. I'll tell you, my first
I'm into it.
My first 25 NAMM shows were fun.
Right. Well, he's in the biz. Yeah.
You know,
These guys are in the biz.
hey, over here.
Yeah. I'll get there. I'll get there one of these
Yeah,
days.
NAMM is great. I love NAMM.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it one of these
NAMM
days.
in Nashville is a lot of fun because then you have the music scene in Nashville to spill into in the night.
Yep.
And you get something accomplished in the daytime with the convention, but then
Far out.
it's so nice to have Nashville at your disposal.
I'll go anywhere.
Yeah.
I'd like
I heard that about you.
Let's go out of this room.
Let's go out of this
I'd like
room.
to go out of this room right now.
Yeah, I'll go next door.
Yeah. Oh, I want to mention because I want to start mentioning that. Okay, I believe your Lucky 21 show. This is our 21st show.
Okay.
And I think that as people do, I probably should. I'm going to start doing this up front. But this podcast is available everywhere that you get podcasts, on every platform. We also have a YouTube channel. I would love it if you subscribed. It's nice to see. So get started with that. Wouldn't you think? You know what I mean?
Only took you 20 shows to run out of talent?
No, it's not that at all. I just starting to realize I should start telling people a little bit more about what we're doing here.
Yeah.
We have a podcast studio here that Dave built at the store, which is available if you would like to have your own podcast. You kind of see what we do here. It's very nice and set up nice.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
The green room is phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't believe
we just built that
they
for
had
you.
The little scallops with the bacon.
Oh, we're going to demolish that
It was
room as soon as you leave.
fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. You thought they were scallops.
Oh, no. They weren't scallops. Those were just pieces of suet.
That's right. So look for us. Look for us on YouTube. Look for us. Come do your podcast here. Clearly, anybody can do this.
I'm going to come here and do a podcast.
I think you
week.
should. I think you should.
Next week, it's going to be all about brown bagging it for lunch.
Right. Yeah, that's fascinating.
That's fascinating.
All right. Yeah, you have a new nickname.
Okay.
Punctual Ed Corvo was here.
Hey.
Because he was right on time today, like to the second. I was already getting ready. I was just like, he's gonna roll in late, and I'm gonna. And it was like, no, he's here. He comes walking in. I'm like, punctual Ed Corvo, bass player, singer, guitar player.
To be fair, it's 0.7 of a mile from my house.
Yeah, that's true. Did you walk?
I would have, with the bridge being the way
right.
it is, I
We
can't
already talked
anymore.
about that.
Yeah,
Yep.
I can't walk the bridge right
Next
now.
time.
Once they're done baby proofing it, I'll be back
Yep.
to walking it.
Next time. All right, Ed Corvo was here.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, man,
This was
it's
a lot
about
of
time.
fun.
It was about
Nope,
time.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I knew you would have fun.
Thank you.
All right, John Peckman Podcast, Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance, beautiful downtown Portland, Connecticut. Come over the bridge, start looking left. We are here with punctual Ed Corvo, bass player, NAMM star of the NAMM show. Thanks for listening. Subscribe, please. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Look for us on every platform that you get your podcasts on. Thank you very much. See ya.